right, welcome to another episode of Piecing It Together, the podcast where we take a look at a new movie and try to figure out what movies might have inspired it. And today on the show, we are talking about the Rivals of Amziah King. This is the new movie from Andrew Patterson, the director of The Vast of Night from 2020, which if you had heard this show back in 2020, you'd have heard me raving about all year long. And now I'm going to be raving about this movie all year long because, wow, what a sophomore effort from Andrew Patterson. We're going to get into it here in a minute. If you haven't seen it yet, go to the theater and watch it. It is so worthwhile. But here to talk about it with me is Rachel Wagner. We get into a lot of great puzzle pieces here and got a lot of great stuff to talk about. So that's coming up in a minute. Before we get to it, I do want to remind you, as always, to make sure you are subscribed to Piecing It Together wherever you listen to podcasts. You can follow us on social media at PiecingPod, although not on Twitter because my Twitter was hacked and it is now gone forever. I'm trying to make sure people know that so they don't pay attention to any fake messages from me on that godforsaken platform. But yeah, I'm not on Twitter anymore, I guess. But you can find me on Instagram, on Facebook, on Blue Sky, at PiecingPod. And with that said, let's talk about the Rivals of Amziah King. Rachel Wagner is with me to talk about the Rivals of Amziah King. How's it going, Rachel?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I am great. I'm so excited to talk about this movie. It was, it's funny. I can't say it was one that I was anticipating. It was not on like my most anticipated list because I honestly forgot Andrew Patterson had another movie in the works. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, Matthew McConaughey has a movie. That's cool. It looks kind of interesting. And then I find out it's the guy who made The Vast of Night, Andrew Patterson, that I had been waiting forever for him to make another movie. And it all just kind of came together and wow, here we are.
Well, I had only heard about it last year from our friend Sean Chandler. He had seen it at South by Southwest and it was his favorite of the festival. And I hadn't been able to see it at the festival. And so that really caught my interest, because he tends to have pretty good taste in things. And so, but then I forgot about it because, it was a year and a half ago. And then I was just preparing for Friday Flicks. I'm like, what is this? And then I remembered, oh yeah, Sean loved this movie.
Yeah.
And so I was super hyped and it did not disappoint.
Not at all. You know who else forgot about this movie? Whoever's job it was to promote this movie. Because I have not seen a single advertisement or trailer or just anything. Yeah. What's going on?
I don't know. I didn't even know who is it Neil?
It's Black Bear. Black Bear.
Yeah.
They put out a lot of good stuff, but yeah, they have not promoted this thing. It's currently playing in 2 Las Vegas theaters. I don't think anybody knows about it. I've kind of made it my mission to spread the word, so I'll be posting this episode like the week after it just hit. And I hope more people check it out. But
Well, I've been doing my best as well. It looks like it's playing at 2 theaters here as well. Jordan Landing and at the Broadway, which is our house theater.
Cool.
So y'all in Utah, go see it.
Yes.
It's
absolutely
really good.
Absolutely.
It's a movie that has everything. It can be quite funny. It has those horror moments. It can be like there was a moment in the first 15 minutes that my mouth was agape.
Me too.
I was.
But the funny thing is, and we of course we spoil stuff on this. I'm not going to go right into what that moment is. We might talk about it later. But that moment though, I was the same way. I was like, oh my God. And then it kind of goes in another direction. And it's like, okay, we're not just going full out craziness like that moment. So it's this movie really just keeps you on your toes and you just do not know what to expect as it goes on. And that's just part of the exciting thing about this movie. And anyway, we'll have so much fun talking.
It does. It feels so fresh and the characters are interesting. Even if they aren't the most likable all the time, because I did hear that. I heard that complaint of everybody's a jerk, and I'm like, but they're interesting jerks.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
And they're full of life, and it's just electricity in this movie, which will come up in some of my pieces. But with that said, let's just get into it, and we'll talk about all this stuff along the way. What do you have for your first puzzle piece for Amziah King?
Well, So I want to do one I don't think that you'll have because I think we share a couple, and I'll let you do that. But I want to do. I think one I thought of is Thelma and Louise.
Okay.
So this that also has the feel of a western. It has women out for revenge
Mm-hmm.
and avenging men who done them wrong. And it has a great sense of like place and also somewhat unlikable
Uh-huh.
characters. It also uses music very effectively, and it's a very very good film. If you haven't seen it, I think it's a wonderful film, and I think that you can feel some of those same sort of like catharsis and themes and stuff like that in the girl in this and her quest, especially
Sure.
the last act of the movie.
Yeah, and that's another thing. We're sitting here raving about this movie, but also Angelina LookingGlass, which I
Oh,
believe this is her first role, if I'm not
that was
mistaken. What
amazing.
a an introduction,
Oh,
just fantastic. And yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. Like you really see a lot of like, oh, this person needed this at this moment in time, and that's something you could say
Yeah.
about Thelma and Louise. It's like what with the good and the bad of what happens in that story. It's like these people needed this at this moment in their lives, and it kind of happened. It worked out
Mhm.
in its own little way. I think that's a really interesting one to kick it off. I will go for my first one, which I think kind of in a weird way kind of fits in a little bit with a Thelma and Louise kind of a story. I'm going with Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, the Coen brothers
Yeah.
version of the Odyssey, through the South, led by music and a whole bunch of colorful characters. That is what you get here. Although it's
Yeah.
funny because it's an Odyssey, but it's all kind of in one place. It's not like you're not like going across the South. It's all just in this one town mostly. But
And I guess I haven't verified this, but my co-host on Friday Fix was saying that this also has T-Bone Burnett doing the soundtrack, the music
oh,
producer.
I would not be surprised. You know what? I'm gonna look at that right
And
now.
that would make a ton of sense, which is also Brother Where Art Thou.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
I think that you could compare a lot of Coen brothers to this early Coen brothers. I even think Fargo that could be an interesting
Sure.
piece
Sure.
because you have what I think is similar about Fargo is that both are female characters that are on it that are trying to solve a mystery,
Mm-hmm.
and they both movies kind of couch violence in small town charm,
Sure. Sure. Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
And they're very different, of course, in many ways, but I think there's the thread there.
Yeah,
It's a
100%.
piece.
And I just looked it up, and yeah, your co-host is right. That was T-Bone Burnett, which
Yeah.
big surprise then that the music is just fantastic in this movie.
It's so
So
good. Oh,
yeah, great
and the
music.
editing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
it's so well edited. The way it flows.
the
Like I'm
editing,
usually not the kind of person who notices stuff like that, but the way that this movie moves
yeah.
is so effective.
Well, and that's something like I've got like another 4 or 5 puzzle pieces we'll be going through. I could not find a good puzzle piece for the editing because I feel like it is just of its own, like it's marching to its own beat the
Yeah.
way that he edited this movie. And at times I would watch it and I would just be like, is this too much? But at the same time, it's like it's intoxicating the way he edits this movie. It's just unlike
Yeah.
anything I've really seen before, which is not something you can really say every day about movies.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I do think Thelma and Louise is a pretty good is very well
oh
edited.
yeah, great editing,
So that would
but
be
thi
I thought of Mad Max Fury Road
oh,
also.
that's an
It
interesting
gets
one. Yeah,
a
a little bit
different
of that.
feel,
Mhm.
but it has the editing is
Yeah,
spectacular
you
in
you
that
usually
movie.
don't, like, notice the editing in a movie, that's and
Uh-huh.
so in this movie, you very much notice the editing, and yeah, I think
Yeah.
Mad Max Fury Road is one where you kinda do too, but, what
Yeah.
do you wanna go to next, though?
Another one that I thought of is a little movie called The Peanut Butter Falcon.
Oh, yeah.
And it this is three friends that are on a journey in the South trying to find this WWE wrestling
So good.
thing so that the one with Down syndrome can wrestle for to get on the TV. And they're kind of fugitives similar to Thelma and Louise. There's sort of a they're both trying to they're all trying to prove something
Mhm.
that they can do it, that they um and it definitely has a similar sort of tone and feel that I think it would be a good
I
piece.
think so too. Yeah, and it's actually one that I was kind of thinking about, and I didn't put on my list, so I'm glad you did. I think when I covered the Peanut Butter Falcon, I might have brought up "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou" as a puzzle piece for that one.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
yeah, you're also getting like a look into a very specific world. In that case,
that's true.
wrestling, and in this case, beekeeping. So
Well, and also I think also sort of the world of somebody with Down syndrome
sure, sure.
too. You know, a unique
Yeah,
protagonist.
absolutely. And the community that surrounds somebody like that. So,
Uh-huh.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I will go for my next one. I wanted to include one Matthew McConaughey role in my list because it does feel like he's kind of tapping back into something he hasn't done in quite a while. He had like a great string of hits in the 2000s that
Yeah.
kind of capitalized on his persona. And the one I wanted to go with is Mud, the Jeff Nichols film.
Yeah. I had that on my list
Right
also. I
on.
mean, there's a lot of similarities.
Yeah, absolutely. I
I
mean,
love that
and
movie.
one of the things that I love, and I mean, this is kind of a spoiler for Amziah King, but I mean, please watch the movie. But with Mud, there's a lot of questioning, like how dark is this person's past? Like, you really don't quite know. And in Amziah King, it turns out like this guy is just a really good dude. Like,
Yeah.
and like it's kind of like as dark as the movie feels like it could get at any turn, it actually turns out to be like, oh no, actually
Yeah.
it's kind of sweet and just kind of life affirming and just wonderful. And so it's like it zigs from where Mud goes, but at the same time I think the same kind of character, the same kind of world, that kind of southern gothic kind of feel, and yeah, and just all the kind of, again, the characters that you find in a world like that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
well,
Well, I think you have to think of Sinners when you're thinking of Anxiety King.
sure.
The especially the way it uses music,
Hmm.
especially the first like half hour of Sinners.
Yeah.
Like for me, I was kind of re- like mourning the loss of like I kind of wish the movie had been just these like rival bars and the
Yeah.
two different styles of music and like I think I would have enjoyed that more.
I was in the same boat
And then
as you on that. Yeah, I felt
it
the
kind
same
of
way.
becomes it just becomes a vampire movie so late, like 45 minutes into the movie,
Hmm.
and I did like it, but I there was I was like, oh, I would have loved that other movie, and I kind of feel like this is that.
Yeah. Yeah, you're so right.
You know
I,
what
I
I
I
mean?
hadn't thought about that, and I felt the exact same way about Sinners. Like I love the idea of it just turning into a vampire movie, but at the same time, I liked everything before that so much more. And you're right. This
Yeah,
kind of is like, what if that had continued on, except for it's the world of beekeepers instead of bar owners.
yeah.
But yeah, no,
But they
that's a good
definitely have
one.
similar styles and tones, and that goes more into overt horror. But this does have its has its
Yeah,
moments
absolutely.
of horror.
It very much does, 100%. I'm gonna go with a weird one, but I wanted to include it on the list. The Testament of Anne Lee from last
I can
year
see that.
with Amanda Seyfried. I mean, you've got this cult leader who their community is kind of built on music and singing and these just electric performances where like you just cannot turn away, and it just feels so full of energy and excitement and love and beauty. And it's like, could some bad stuff be happening in this community? Maybe.
Yeah.
But in this case of Messiah King, it never does. It's just everybody is just all kind of together. They have this community. It's infectious and it's beautiful, and it's a movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
It's a movie, and we don't have to get into any of what could be, because what happens is these people are all kind of there for each other, even though they're weird and they're eccentric and all this kind of stuff. They're just there. They're making beautiful music, and they're just having this great little, wonderful little world that they're kind of encapsulated in.
Yeah. Well, my next piece is something that might seem like a weird comparison, but I think there's something there. It's To Kill a Mockingbird.
Okay.
I just think the overall tone and feel is definitely very similar, and I think that you could see some of Atticus Finch in Anxiety King. That he's obviously more complex. Like Atticus is more of a traditional hero,
Mm-hmm.
but I think the way that he talks to Scout and the way that Amziah talks to the girl, I forget her name in the movie, but to his daughter, it's kind of similar in the way that they kind of see the world, and there is actually, I think, a hopeful feel at the end of the day to both films.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah. Though the hopefulness of this movie is something that really shines through, and
Yeah, it does.
and it's something that, like, it's so weird because, like, when we started off this conversation, we're talking about this director and, like, his last film, Vast of Night, which was my favorite, like, movie of 2000, or one of my favorite movies of 2000, and just the biggest surprise of 2000, that's for sure. In the midst of the pandemic and everything, being stuck at home with very little to watch, and that movie just
You mean
comes out of nowhere.
2020?
Yeah, 2020, not 2000. And was I in a pandemic in
Yeah.
2000 as well? Maybe, I don't know. But
Yeah, no, it's true.
Yeah.
That was definitely one that stood out, and you always hope that. So often, like Project 2, they'll kind of have a sophomore slump.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
I mean, you can even, like, we just had a Nicholas Winding Refn movie that was absolutely atrocious, and you look at someone like him, like he just came out of the gate like, whoa, and then I think most people have been a little bit underwhelmed by his subsequent projects after Drive, and sometimes that'll happen, and so I think we all kind of hold our breath, like, come on, is he gonna? And boy, is he ever
Absolutely.
like come out of the gate swinging.
Totally.
I mean, this is what a 2-horse punch of those two movies,
and, like, to the point, like, a totally different kind of a movie. Like,
yeah.
not that The Vast of Night didn't have a hopefulness to it or anything like that, but it just wasn't about that. It was about a very specific tone and vibe and, like, kind of keeping that going the whole time. Whereas this movie, I was just not expecting his next movie to be this movie that just makes me want to go live my life and just be excited about stuff, It's like, wow, okay, well, this is where we're going. But yeah. Great stuff. I feel like there's a better version of my next puzzle piece, but this was the one that I thought of. So there's a big part of this movie where there are, like, rivals with all the money, played by Kurt Russell, that are taking everything over in the beekeeping world and in other worlds as well. And we have to kind of steal that back. And the movie that I kept thinking about for some reason is Be Kind, Rewind. A very fun movie about a little video store, and they know that the store is kind of going to come to an end at some point, and so they kind of get the whole community together to just kind of be like, this is ours. Like, no matter what happens, whether we save the day or not, this is ours, and you really can't stop that. Another version of this, I thought it was UHF with Weird Al, but yeah, I'm sure there's a better version of it though that we could go to, but that's the one that I kept going to.
Well, the movie that I thought of, and this is actually a movie I don't love as much as everybody else, is 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri.
Okay, that's a good one.
I think that you can definitely feel that sense of revenge, that sense of rivalry, between Frances McDormand's character, Sam Rockwell's character, all these different elements that are all kind of coming together to do this sort of folk, modern folk story sort of thing. I feel like that movie does not control tone as well as this movie does, especially with the Sam Rockwell character. I feel like it kind of goes over the edge, and especially when these, like, beaten people up for no reason. I don't know. So the movie loses me in some ways. But I still think there's pieces there that are similar.
I think that's an interesting one too. I hadn't thought of that. I was someone who loved that movie, but I could totally see, like, being turned off by certain aspects of it, especially that character. But
I didn't hate it. I just didn't love it like most people seem to do.
Well, I think also,
I think it's similar.
Another reason why that's a good piece here, I feel like, is that's one of those movies where everyone in it speaks to the cast, whether you like Sam Rockwell in there or not. It speaks to the cast how just lived in the movie feels. Like, all the characters seem to have these long histories with each other. They hate each other. They love each other. They're annoyed by each other. And you get a lot of that with Amziah King as well, which is part of the fun of it all. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
good stuff there.
Yeah.
I will go to my last one, which is probably too new to be a real puzzle piece here, but from last year, The Ballad of Wallace Island, which was one of my favorite movies of last year.
Underrated.
It's so good, so good.
Yeah.
But the thing that I loved about that movie more than anything, I mean, it's hilarious and there's so much to love about it, but it's a movie that truly, truly, truly loves music. And to me, as a musician, as someone who runs a record store, like everything that my life is about is music. And I really feel it when I watch that movie. And I feel like Amziah King really tapped into that as well. That music can really bring community together. It can make life just worthwhile and can really be just such an important thing in people's lives. And I think both of these movies really, really shine a light on that.
Yeah, I can see that. Well, my last piece is again a movie that I don't love as much as other people do, but I do respect it. It's actually an animated film. I have Rango.
Okay. I've actually
I think
never
the
seen
sense of
Rango.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's definitely very unique. But yeah, I think the sense of like how unpredictable it is. The obviously the Western aesthetic is there
Hmm.
in Rango. I think you can see like a little bit of Rango in I'm Sorry King, just a little
Yeah.
bit.
Okay.
Yeah, that and then there's a rival sheriff who you're kind of suspect of, and I just think there's little things in there you could see some
I
similarities.
have a friend who has been like pushing me to watch Rango for a while now, so maybe I'll have to finally catch up on that one. So,
It's worth watching, even if it's not like a favorite. It's just not like a top 50 animated film for me. But
sure.
I do respect it
Right
for
on.
what it is. It's very unusual and definitely one of the most unique best animated feature winners that we've ever had for sure.
Right on, right on. Well, I want to start getting into some closing thoughts here, and I wanted to kick it off with we talked about McConaughey, we talked about Angelina LookingGlass. Kind of towards the end, almost like a third lead kind of turns up is Jake Horowitz, who doesn't even have a Wikipedia page, but he was the star
Oh my
of
gosh, he was so good.
he's so good. He was the star of The Vast of Night before this, the other Andrew Patterson movie, and here he just shows up and just is he's just on fire for the whole second half
Yeah.
of this movie. He's so good, and I don't know if
Kurt Russell too. We haven't even talked about Kurt
yeah,
Russell.
Kurt Russell's fantastic too, but I just want to just sing Jake Horowitz's praises, put him in more movies. That's all.
Yeah.
So,
Cole Sprouse, he's good in
oh yeah,
this.
yeah,
And so yeah, there's just a lot of people who get little moments
sure,
that are really fun. Tony Revolori, I
great.
mean, like he again we won't spoil it, but man, he gets quite the scene.
Poor guy.
He's a scene maker.
Yeah. Oh my God. Nightmares. But yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. One other thing that I wanted to mention that we haven't talked about here, and I didn't really have a puzzle piece for this. I almost thought about Napoleon Dynamite, but food. This is a movie that's very focused on
That's true.
very
That's a
tight
good
shots
point.
of kind of gross but also kind of delicious looking food. I mean, it's the South, so you know we get
Yeah.
we get very home cooked meals and stuff like that. A lot of potlucks in this movie, but
You could almost, you know what would be a good piece
hmm,
for food is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
okay, okay,
Because, with Tarantino,
yeah.
he's always big about
Oh
food.
yeah, yeah. He loves that. He
Yeah,
loves
yeah.
that kind of
And
stuff.
that has sort of a Western feel to it a little bit
Sure.
and rivals and
Love it. Love it. Absolutely.
yeah.
So yeah, that was the only other things that I wanted to bring up. Anything else you wanted to bring up that we didn't
Or
quite
I
talk
guess
about?
I haven't seen it, but some people, Django Unchained, they might compare that.
Yeah, yeah. That I mean that definitely fits in the certainly in the setting and definitely I think some of the vibe and tone of it I think would fit there as well.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But really, this was just so so thrilling. I mean, just to watch something like this because when you're a critic, you see so many movies, especially when you're doing new releases like I am. And and it's so satisfying when you get to be a champion for something that is so good and you can tell people go see it. It's like this is when it feels like okay, this is the paydays
Sure.
for all of the. I mean, it's amazing. This came out the week after Ice Cream Man,
Yeah.
which was a low point
Yeah,
for all of us.
sure.
And so it's like it was. Congratulations, this is your gift for
Yeah.
for
For having to live through that crap.
There are still people that are making movies like this.
Yeah.
Man.
We have to celebrate that when it happens. So
We do.
I think that's a great place to wrap this up. Rachel, is there another movie you watched recently you'd like to recommend to our listeners?
Well, I just went to the 10th anniversary of Your Name.
Oh,
I literally just came home. And I love that movie so much. Talk about another movie with a singular creative vision that's bold and exciting, and also I think both movies, they satisfy so many different desires as a moviegoer.
Mm-hmm.
Your Name is romantic, it's funny, it's tense, it's literally a disaster movie at points. Like, has so many different things that it uses music really well. So throw that in, another piece, Your Name.
There you go.
But yeah, that's a really wonderful film. Also, this is on Netflix. Unfortunately, I wish it was on the main screen. Is Don't Say Good Luck.
I haven't even heard of that.
Wonderful little movie about it's Adam Sandler's daughter. Is a drama nerd who gets the lead, and then her mom, played by Melanie Linsky, who is so good. She gets cancer.
Okay.
And so it's lovely. I really recommend that one as well.
Sounds really good. I just love that you just got back from the theater to watch Your Name, and I just got back from the theater to watch the Wet Hot American Summer 25th anniversary, which I honestly could say all the same exact things you said about Your Name for. Great use of music, comedy, romance, tension. It's all there.
This week was, because I always do a re-release of the week on Friday Flicks.
Yeah.
And this week there were like 4 movies that I could have picked from.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, Rachel, tell people where they can find you, the podcast, everything you're up to.
Yeah, so I've been doing every Friday. We do live stream with different friends of mine. Hopefully, David, you'll come on one of these days.
Yeah.
Where we talk about the movies of the week, and it's been super fun. We've had about 25 episodes. I don't know when you'll post this, but we've been doing it since March, and I'm really proud of it, really excited. And so that's on a live stream. Then I upload it onto Hallmarkies and onto Rachel's Reviews iTunes, so you can listen to it if you miss the live stream, or you can watch it on YouTube. Anyway, so I've got that plus everything going on at Hallmarkies. We've got we just covered all of the Little House on the Prairie, the reboot. We've got that over there. Of course, we'll have everything covered for Christmas coming up before you know it.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely I keep really busy, but check out Friday Flicks. I would love to have your support over there.
Awesome. Well, Rachel, thank you so much for doing the show, and hopefully we'll be talking to you again sometime soon.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
All right, so I hope you enjoyed that conversation about the Rivals of Amziah King. Thank you to Rachel Wagner for joining me on that one, and thank you to all of you for listening. Hopefully you've already seen the movie before you listen to the episode, but in the case that you haven't, go to the movie theater and watch it. Movies like this need our attention. They need our support. Go see this movie. It's one of my favorites of the year. So good. But with that said, you know what you could do. You could follow me on social media at Piecing Pod. Join the Facebook group Popcorn and Puzzle Pieces, where we continue the conversation about all the movies we talk about here on the show. Also, I do have a Patreon, the Produced by David Rosen Patreon, where I post bonus and advanced content from Piecing It Together, from Awesome Movie Year, and from my music career. Lots of great stuff over there at patreon.com/bydavidrosen. You are supporting the show just by being out there listening, but you could also support the show a little bit extra by signing up for the Patreon. So, yeah, with that said, let's close this one out with a piece of music like I always do. And for such a music-centric film, I got to pick something good for today's episode. And I wish I had something I could say was legit bluegrassy that I could play. Maybe there's a Pup Pup song that kind of comes close, but I don't feel like playing a Pup Pup song. Instead, I'm going to play one of my instrumental dark electronica new age type tracks that just happens to have a banjo in the back of it. So I'm going to play a track called Constellations. It's from my third album, Head Like Fire. There's actually a music video for this one that It's actually the most seen thing I've ever done out of all of my various projects. Pretty cool. But anyway, this is Constellations from the album Head Like Fire. Hope you enjoy it. We'll be back with more Piecing It Together real soon.
An All Points West production, produced by David Rosen in Las Vegas.